Title: Fiancée texted, "I'm keeping the baby, but I'm putting my ex's name on the birth certificate. It doesn't mean anything, it's just easier." I replied, "Okay." Then I canceled the lease on our apartment, forwarded her text to her ex, and sent him, "Start it." I stared at my phone, the words burning on the screen. "I'm keeping the baby, but I'm putting my ex's name on the birth certificate. It doesn't mean anything, it's just easier." I replied simply, "Okay." Calm, controlled, but inside a storm was already forming. We'd been together for 4 years. I knew her laughter, the tilt of her head when she was scheming something mischievous, the way she held my hand at night, fingers intertwined like promises. I'd trusted her with everything, my apartment, my savings, my heart. And she shattered all of it with a few casual words, as if cutting me out of the story I thought we were writing. The signs had been there. The late nights at work, the whispered phone calls, the sudden distance I attributed to stress. I ignored them. Love is a good anesthetic. But her text wasn't ignorance or a mistake. It was deliberate, and I knew it. I didn't reply with anger, I didn't beg, I didn't cry. That was amateur hour. I responded with strategy. By the next morning, I had canceled the lease on our apartment. Every trace of me, mail, utilities, security codes, was stripped away. She'd come home to nothing. Empty walls, a void where she thought she had permanence. Then I forwarded her text. Not to a friend, not to a lawyer, to him, the ex. The one she was sliding her unborn child's last name toward. I attached a gift basket to the email, a celebratory "Congratulations on Fatherhood" arrangement. Chocolates, a baby blanket, a note in elegant script. I wanted it personal. I wanted him to feel the collision of joy and betrayal. I waited. 2 days later, the call came. "Who the hell sent you that?" A furious female voice screamed into my ear. Her tone was sharp, accusatory, trembling with rage. I listened carefully. Each word, each stutter was a confirmation of chaos, my chaos, meticulously orchestrated. I didn't respond immediately. I let her anger simmer, like wine breathing in a glass. Then I spoke. The truth has a funny way of catching up. She hung up, leaving me in the quiet aftermath. And that silence tasted sweet. It hadn't been impulsive. It never is with me. I had watched, observed, and collected pieces of the puzzle for months. Emails she thought were private, text threads she left open, the subtle shift in her tone whenever he was mentioned. Every lie she told herself was invisible, every half-truth she whispered in my presence, it all became fuel. I studied the law, the loopholes, the points where her casual disregard for consequences became my leverage. I mapped out every move so that when the time came, it would unfold perfectly. When the apartment lease was canceled, I made sure the forwarding address was mine, not hers. When the text went to him, I watched his initial confusion, the flicker of excitement, then horror as he pieced it together. And her? She thought she was hiding behind my silence. She thought inaction meant surrender. She was wrong. Revenge isn't about noise. It's about control, precision. And watching her carefully constructed world unravel piece by piece without ever touching a hair on my head, it was intoxicating. The final confrontation was private, but I was present in every sense. Not physically, not yet. I let her realize on her own. Calls from lawyers, questions from friends, the ex's wife. Oh, the ex's wife. Everything converged like a storm front. I didn't need to speak. I had set the winds in motion. The fallout was beautiful in its symmetry. She called me, voice trembling, asking why. I repeated the same words I had whispered before. The truth has a funny way of catching up. She had imagined herself untouchable, but she forgot that trust can be weaponized. She forgot that the person she dismissed as weak had the patience to watch, to wait, to strike in silence. I took one last look at the remnants of what we had, our shared photos, the furniture I never really cared for, the apartment keys she'd try to pawn off as leverage. I felt no sadness, only clarity, only power, only justice. And as I walked away, a quiet satisfaction settled over me. The betrayal had cut deep, but I had healed faster than her conscience ever would. I didn't gloat. I didn't post it online. I didn't need witnesses. I left behind the evidence of my victory in their lives, like a shadow imprint they couldn't erase. She thought she could manipulate, exploit, and discard me. She thought I'd flinch. She thought she knew me. I did not. I knew patience. I knew timing. I knew the exact moment she would realize that the empire she built on lies had crumbled without a single brick moved by my hand. I let her fall. I let her scramble, and I watched, calm and unshaken, as the chaos I seeded took root. In the end, I was untouchable. Not because I'm perfect, not because I'm righteous, but because I refused to be a victim. And that is why she will remember my name, not as the man she left behind, but as the one who quietly, irrevocably outmaneuvered her. She lost. I rose. And the quiet victory tasted sweeter than any revenge imagined. If you want, I can also rewrite it in an even tighter, more cinematic 700-word version that reads like a thriller scene by scene, almost like a screenplay in prose form, to maximize tension and suspense in every line. Do you want me to do that?